Have you ever thought, what can a hamburger, an ordinary Big Mac, tell us about the world economy? Answer: surprisingly a lot. In 1986, the Economist magazine came up with a very interesting idea to help us understand the economy in a more entertaining way. The Big Mac Index. Yes, as you can see from the name, it's all about this iconic hamburger. The Big Mac is sold almost identically in every country. It has a slice of meat, lettuce, cheese, sauce, and a classic sesame seed bun. So the ingredients are the same, the brand is the same, the presentation is the same, but is the price the same? Answer: no, not at all. This difference gives us an incredible window into the global economy, exchange rates, and the cost of living. How does this system work? Let's take a look together. The basic logic of the Big Mac Index. The Big Mac Index works on a simple but ingenious principle. It takes the price of a Big Mac sold in a country's currency and converts it into dollars at the current exchange rate. Then it is compared to the price of a Big Mac in the US. For example, based on 2024 data, a Big Mac in Switzerland costs about $8.17. In the US, the average price is $5.69. What does this mean? The Swiss franc is overvalued compared to the US dollar, so purchasing power is high there, but life is expensive. At the other extreme is Venezuela. A Big Mac there is only around $1.78. This shows that the Venezuelan currency is extremely undervalued, and the country is experiencing serious economic difficulties. Even such a simple hamburger can tell us how much money is worth in any country, and not just the currency. It also gives us an idea about the cost of living in the country. What is the situation in other countries? In the Nordic countries like Norway and Sweden, Big Mac prices are still quite high. This shows that the cost of living in those countries, especially basic needs like food, is above average. In Australia, on the other hand, a Big Mac costs around $5.70, and in Brazil, around $4.81. The currencies of these countries are slightly weaker than the dollar, but there is no major imbalance. By the way, are you curious about the real reason for the dollar's dominance in the world? Then you can watch the video I made about it in the card section. This data is not only about money, but also about a way of life. I can make a more formal, simpler, or more expressive version if you want. In which style? The Big Mac Index shows not only the currency value, but also how much a life costs in a country. If a hamburger is expensive in a country, it's probably expensive to eat in a restaurant, to buy groceries, or to go out for coffee. Someone traveling to Switzerland or Norway, for example, can guess just by looking at the price of a Big Mac. I need to be a bit more careful with my money here. In the same way, if a country's Big Mac is very cheap, this is often linked to a low cost of living. But this is not always a good thing. Sometimes it means that the economy is getting worse. So, is this index enough? Of course, the Big Mac Index doesn't tell the whole story. It's not a guide to the economy, but rather a simple but fun indicator. It doesn't accurately reflect local labor wages, rents, or inflation rates, but it is still surprisingly functional. Even someone who doesn't follow the economy can understand what is going on in a country just by looking at the price of this hamburger. If you go to McDonald's one day and order a Big Mac, what you have in your hand is not just a lunch. It is also a small reflection of the global economy. This is the end of our video. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Hope to see you in the next video.